It's Matthew Warren, and this video is for Miss Perry's class, Drama 30. Now, for this video, I'm picking the movie Mi Familia. The reason I'm picking Mi Familia is because I liked how the film showed how the family was able to stick together throughout all the trials and tribulations that they all went through. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the setting. The setting was from Mexico to East LA. Now, it started from Jose when he was much younger, maybe about 18. How he had to leave his family because his parents weren't able to feed all of Jose and his siblings. So Jose said, how about I move to California and live with my uncle, El Californio. So he packed all his stuff and left. It took about a couple weeks to get there, but when he got there, he started working. And after he started working, he saw Maria. Now, this is where the plot comes in. The plot is pretty much Jose and Maria starting their own family, and after they start their own family, they have about 6 kids, and it doesn't show from Jose and Maria's point of view, but it shows from a few of the kids' point of view of how they grew up and how they all went in different directions and whatnot of growing up in LA as Mexicans, where they weren't really accepted by America. So the political views in this movie is, I only caught 2 points. Where Maria, right after Chucho was born, Maria went to the family market to get groceries for the family. So Maria and Chucho went to the market, and around that time, a lot of Americans were blaming Mexicans for them losing their jobs. They thought that since all of them are coming over here, they are taking a lot of American jobs. So when Maria went over there, she a lot of the law enforcement was trying to gather anybody that looked Hispanic and deporting them back to Mexico, which was bad because once that happened, no one back at home, as in Jose, Paco, and Irene, and El California, knew where she was, so she was gone for months on end. And another political view was when Chucho was on the run from law enforcement. And the reason I picked that is because when law enforcement was chasing him, they were chasing him like an animal. They weren't really chasing him like a human being, trying to take him back to jail. They were trying to kill him. And the way they were following him was as if they were trying to kill an animal. And when one of the police officers shot him square in the head, they were rejoicing like he caught a game prize animal and whatnot. Which I thought was messed up because they didn't think of him as a human being because he wasn't Caucasian. Now, next, I'm going to talk about the ethics of each character. Now, first, I'm going to talk about the parents. Now, Jose is the cornerstone for that whole family. He's the type to want to do the grunt work for his family, so his kids won't have to. He was the rock for that family. While Maria was the loving, tender type, to where if the kids needed help or got in trouble, she would want them to turn to her so she could shield them from anything of this world. And Maria showed that when she had to protect Chucho when they were crossing the river. So when they were crossing the river, she did everything in her power to protect them, and to me that showed that her love won't stop nor for her children. So she's a loving, tender one. Now, the first child, Paco, he was there. He was a big brother to all of them, but he was more of the kind of off to himself, even though he was there. He was off to himself writer type, as in he would mind his business, but he would still be there for his family. And the mom, Maria, she kind of got mad at that because she wanted him to start his own family, even though he was just like, I'm going to do my own thing, Mom. And the second child was Irene. Irene was there in the movie, but it didn't really show much of her. All I got from her was just that she'd be there down for her family, but she wanted to start her own family very badly, and it showed when she married her husband. But she was still there for her family because it showed that after she got married, after she started her own business with her husband, that she gave Paco a job willingly so he could still write his books and novels. Next was Chucho. Even though he died really young, to me, he was a type. He was a tough guy. He was a tough guy where he wanted to be respected from his gang, all the people that lived next to him, and other gangs around LA. And it showed when the other gang was trying to crash his sister's wedding. Him and his boys got up and they said, "Listen, I'm gonna let you live today, but if you come here, I'm gonna mess you up and whatnot." So he was a tough guy to me. Like, everybody wanted to be him. All the girls wanted to get with him. He was just respected. Next was Tony. Tony to me was more of a nomad, as in like she wanted to get out in the world. She didn't want to stay in one place. She wanted to get out in the world and do something. So the best way for her to do that, what she thought, was to be a nun. That was when she was younger. But then eventually she found a significant other who happened to be a priest. So when they found each other, after that, her role to me was just that she wanted to still help people, but she wanted to do it with her lover. So she just wanted to help people with her lover. Next was Mimo. Mimo, he was the bookworm. He was the smart one who was always deep in his books, and he always seemed like he loved his family until he got out of school and became a lawyer. And when he finally made it, he kind of seemed like a sellout to me, like a punk. As in, when he finally made it, when he didn't need his family's help anymore, he turned his back on them. Like they embarrassed him. Like, he didn't even go by his nickname anymore, which I think was messed up. And how he lied about a lot of his family's past. So I thought he was pretty messed up for that. And even in the end, he didn't go back to them when they all came back together. He's went to them once and then stayed in Beverly Hills with his new family, which I thought was pretty messed up. And last would be the youngest, Jimmy. At first, Jimmy was the baby. Everybody loved him until one day when he snapped, when he was hiding out and he saw Chucho shot in the head. And that really messed him up. Now, when that happened, it showed that he changed. He became like Chucho, but a lot more closed off. A lot of people respected him and whatnot, but he was just always mad at the world. Always mad at the world, until one day when Tony asked him to do a favor for her. And the favor was to marry this girl. I think her name was Isabella. Asked him to marry her so she can get a green card. But the thing is, when he married her, she actually thought, "No, we're really married. I want to be your wife." So, but he didn't want to do that because he was so messed up from Chucho's death that he wanted to be left alone. He didn't want nothing to do with her until she started coming around more, and he started liking her. And one night when they shared a romantic night, both their walls fell down and they confessed to each other why they were so angry at the world. And when that happened, he loved her and she loved him, and things were going good. He stopped being so closed off. He stopped being a tough guy. He started become a husband and a soon-to-be father. Started working with his dad and everything, until when she gave birth to the son, to both her sons, she died. She died, and he went right back to his old ways of being closed off and whatnot and everything. So he then did a job when he went back to prison for a few years and didn't want to see his son. And when he finally got out, he then decided to be a part of his son's life, but his son wanted nothing to do with him. So he then eventually made up to his son after a few months of just trying to get back in his good graces. And the movie pretty much ended with him promising his son that he will never leave him and love him always. And that's what I liked about the movie the most, how it showed that no matter what, that we can get through anything, no matter what, and all come together and love each other, and love conquers all.